Hello and good afternoon. Today we have our guest, Mr. Chetan R. Nalla. He is an expert in biotechnology and he has uh, 15 years of work experience with food industry, with pharmaceuticals, and with infant nutrition. So we will ask few questions with Mr. Nalla so that we can have clearer view about how the food industry is actually going about safety of our food. So, Mr. Nalla, welcome. And
Okay.
the first question, basically the background of the questions that today I'm going to ask is like there's a considerable discussion about ultra processed food going on. I mean, we see so much of content and news and everything coming up. So the industry
Okay.
the industry would support their cause, like they would say that no, it is natural and nature identical the chemicals that we are adding, and it is safe, and the permissible limits are there, and we are following that. So like everyone like keep justifying that we are adding good food. And so like my first question on this is like, why does the industry need to add nature identical chemicals? But I mean, suppose if they need to add yellow color, why don't they just add haldi? And why do they need an identical chemical which needs to have a permissible limit?
Okay. Although your voice is distantly audible from me, but what I understood from what you said is what is the need of adding nature identical flavors, right?
Right.
Okay. It all depends on basically when you look at flavors are three kinds, right? Natural flavors, nature identical, and synthetic. So I would just like to highlight what is the difference between these three so that it will be easy to understand the differentiation. Synthetic is man-made, which is lab-made, and which doesn't naturally occur in the nature. And nature identical is which is mimicking the compounds that nature has in its food, like fruits, vegetables, or anywhere, any part of the nature, and you can make it in the lab.
Okay.
So that is nature identical. You're manufacturing what's there in the nature. Okay.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you take vanilla, the vanilla flavor, which is natural, costs you about 2 to 3 lakhs per kilo.
It's
Okay. But
expensive.
ethyl vanillin, which is manufactured in the laboratory, which is equal to vanillin in terms of taste and the feel when you add to foods. But
Okay.
that costs you like 200, 300 rupees a bottle, a liter bottle. So,
Okay.
and nature identical is something that you take something from the nature, mix it with something with synthetic, and make it identical to what's chemically, making it chemically identical to the natural compounds. So it's all organic chemistry in action.
Okay. So it
Okay,
is
and when it
basically
terms
the
of,
cost.
pardon me.
It is because of the cost that we need nature identical chemicals.
Yeah, it's cost and marketing.
Okay.
Basically, you have to look into why they're adding these flavors. Like, can you have plain palm oil? Can you have plain palm oil? Like, if I give you 100 grams of palm oil, can you have it? No. If I give you 100 grams of sugar, will you have it? No. But when you mix these two and add a drop of flavor, you'll probably eat more than that. So you need
Okay.
flavor to make food that you would naturally not eat, make it palatable, and it's made for people to enjoy. Is it
Okay.
nutritious? It's not completely nutritious. It's food. It's not nutrition, it's food. But it's not completely non-nutrition, right? Palm oil has got fat, and the fat is important for your body through your diet.
Okay.
But if you don't have control over how much you have, if you're having 50 grams of palm oil every day, that's going to have some health complications, health side effects, right?
Right.
But if
Like,
you look at the general population, every day in India, what people have for breakfast in North India or Central India? Samosa, jalebi. Where are they cooked in?
paratha.
They're cooked in palm
Paratha.
oil.
Paratha.
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 Paratha, yeah. I mean, samosa.
Mm-hmm.
How is it fried in? It's fried in palm oil.
Mostly.
Jalebis are also fried in palm oil.
Mhm.
People have
Right.
been eating it as breakfast for years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a question of did they die because of it? No.
No.
So this is something for a dietitian to decide what is healthy, what is not healthy, in what quantities. Coming from my background, I can only tell you flavors make food palatable.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, which are not palatable, which you don't enjoy even
Right.
chewing in the mouth.
Okay. So not healthy and not natural just because of the cost and uh, because the natural flavor would be too costly to add to the processing food.
The flavors are non-nutritional in nature. Any flavor that is added to a food product, it's
Mm-hmm.
not nutritional in nature. It is
Okay.
only added to make that food palatable. So adding a natural flavor to an ice cream or a beverage or a synthetic flavor is not going to have any nutritional effects.
Okay.
It is only making it palatable. If somebody is claiming health benefits by adding nutritional flavors, then that is
That is a
it's
fallacy.
marketing gimmick, nothing else.
Right. Okay. So, like we have seen, like in different countries, there are different
And,
laws.
and I will just like to add that flavors are the least ingredient that's there in any product that you see.
Okay.
Any product that you pick from market, the last ingredient is the color, and
Yes.
before that you see the flavor. So
Right.
to give you a holistic view, 1,000 liters of beverage will add just half liter to 1 liter of flavor. So it is
Okay.
0.001% of flavor in 1 liter of soft drink. So is that going to have any kind of difference to your health? No, but the amount of sugar in it is definitely going to have an impact.
Okay. So the flavor is not the exact problem. It's the sugar and oil and salt and other things
Exactly,
which
exactly,
are a problem there.
exactly,
All right.
exactly.
Okay. So, like we have seen in different countries, there are different laws about foods. Like in some countries,
Mhm.
US and India allows a lot of ingredients which are not allowed in Europe,
Okay,
specifically UK. We this is what we read that UK does not allow a lot of chemicals which are allowed in other countries. So, like,
understand.
is it like the different races of these continents would adapt to the chemical, or is it bad? And some countries are allowing because they want the money, and some countries are conscious, and that's why they are not allowing. So how is it like? Why some countries are allowing and some are not?
That is something to do with the regulatory framework of those countries.
Okay.
America being a consumeristic country,
Mm-hmm.
it is very liberal in terms of allowing what kind of ingredients go into its food. Because
Mm-hmm.
America is the obesity nation of the world, I guess.
Yes.
And almost
Yes.
for 30 to 40% of the people there are suffering with obesity. But when you take Europe, Europe has the advantage of being very strong and strict with their regulatory framework.
Mm-hmm.
And any product that you see in Europe, people in Instagram and in social media share this difference that the same product in America has got 10 ingredients, in Europe it has got only 3, 4 ingredients.
Yes.
But the what we need to look at is those 10 ingredients, just the 5, 6 ingredients make up not even 5% of the product. But
Okay.
the problem not lies with the ingredients, it lies with the consumption. How much do you consume? Like probably in
Okay.
America, I guess everybody will have a soft drink every day. But in Europe, that's not
Yes.
the case. They rarely enjoy it. They're more
Mhm.
comfortable with having soups. Their teas don't have dairy and sugar. It's
Mhm.
hot beverage. So
Right.
those things matter a lot compared to the ingredients. Right?
Okay.
And in America, those ingredients are added to make the shelf life better, the
Mhm.
texture of the product better. If you take cake, so they add
Okay.
so many ingredients, so the shelf life is better, the texture is better, there's no spoilage, and it looks better. You
Okay.
transport it for a long time. So because of these
Okay.
reasons, Europe, you don't have that much of tourism. Like
Okay.
there's not too many superstores where things go from one end to another, and everything is
Okay.
localized.
Okay.
Yeah.
In dietetics, we do
Like,
say that as much as local we consume, that is what helps in good health. So that is also one factor which seems to be working for Europe. Okay,
mhm,
so my next question would be like, in the past, like there have been news that there were certain chemicals for which the permissible limits came out to
mhm,
be harmful, then they were banned. For
okay,
few chemicals, we get to see the news because I have disconnected from food science for so long that I don't really remember the names. But then there have been news like that.
okay,
So, like,
okay.
is there a possibility that right now there are certain ingredients which have
Mhm.
a permissible limit, but in future we might come to know that these are actually harmful?
Okay. What I would like to give that recently Karnataka government, I think about 6 or 7 months back, has banned food colors in food served in dishes served in restaurants.
Yes, I
So,
came to know.
right. So
Yes.
the thing is, it's a state government that has taken the measure. But
Mm-hmm.
if you ask them why they took that measure, they probably went by some health reports.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, some studies or some health reports indicating that these colors can cause, like say ADHD in children. Like if you take a
Mm-hmm.
packet of gems, all those
Yes,
colors,
I did.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
rainbow colors.
Mm-hmm.
Some studies have proved that these colors can trigger hyperactivity in kids, making them uh, 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 leading to causes like ADHD or even linking them to autism or something like that, right?
Yes.
You got me. But there are no conclusive evidences. Something the dosages that work in kids may not work in adults, and the
Yes, that is
dosages
true.
that work in one study group might not have the same results in another study group.
That is true.
So if you go around these scientific evidences, it's not going to prove anything, because the color, the amount that you add, let's say you take a dish of palak paneer, or
Mm-hmm.
or you say gobi manchuria. They
Mm-hmm.
might add just a drop of color to make it look red and orangish,
They
but
do.
the amount of
Yeah.
oil that goes into that gobi manchuria, right, the amount of MSG or any other excess salt that goes into it, these are the
Mm-hmm.
actual culprits, because the color
Okay.
stays in your intestines for roughly 48 to 72 hours. After that, it
Mm-hmm.
gets flushed out through
Okay.
the natural process.
Mm-hmm.
uh, it all depends on, if let's say a person has got high inflammation in his body,
Okay.
and if he's getting into this, if his intake of these colors is very regular,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that might somewhere cause something to him, right? It's because of your body's inflammation which absorbs these external additives and can
Mm-hmm.
create some problem. But that
Mm-hmm.
problem, is it life threatening, or is it just a sickness for an overnight, or a headache somewhere sometime during the day you get a small headache? Connecting all these will require conclusive evidence based RCT based trials to prove anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, as a dietitian's perspective, I would like to add here, like, yes, that the it has been found that a lot of these chemicals, when they enter the body,
Hmm.
they form something called semi-voltaic compounds. And
Hmm.
these semi-voltaic compounds actually add to the inflammation, which is usually already existing because of other factors as well. And if the
Hmm.
person is
Hmm.
obese, these semi-voltaic
Hmm.
compounds would attach to the adipose tissue. Would cause
Hmm.
further inflammation. It can cause autoimmune diseases, and then it will
Yes,
also
yes.
make the person very difficult for the person to lose that weight. And like you have just mentioned
Yes.
one more compound which I was not planning to ask for, MSG. Like some people say it's
Hmm.
fine. Some people say, and like in today's world, everyone is trying to justify their products. So please talk about MSG a
Hmm.
little bit.
As far as I believe, MSG, it again comes to any food ingredient, it comes to the quantity. Like if you're having KFC every day,
Uh-huh.
and KFC declares that it has MSG in its product, in its
Yes.
menu. So if you have a KFC burger every day for 30 days, then that might lead. then you'll probably have some effect of it. Like
Okay.
you don't appreciate normal foods. Okay, you don't
Mhm.
appreciate home foods, and
Mhm.
that's where you start losing out on nutrition,
Right.
because that taste gets you addicted to junk, and you keep
Mhm.
having more junk, and that will
Mhm.
put you in trouble. So if you take Italian cheese, if you go to a say a high-end pizza restaurant, and
Mhm.
there you demand Parmesan cheese to be scraped over your pizza, you're
Right.
okay with it. You're okay with it. You don't
Mhm.
complain of MSG, but Parmesan cheese is tastier because of MSG.
Oh, okay.
There's MSG in processed and preserved cheese too. That's what makes it tastier. But you go to a
Okay.
Chinese restaurant and start complaining they're adding MSG, so you should not eat a lot of Chinese food.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
Okay.
So any so it all depends on the quantity. What you're preferring, and your habits. Once in
Mhm.
a while is okay. Once
Mhm.
in a short while is okay, but every day will put you in trouble.
Right. Okay. But like you have just mentioned that these things are addictive.
Hmm.
And specifically, like in kids, I have seen that once they consume these things, they want it repetitively.
Exactly. Their preference. It's with human nature. But
Mhm.
who gave it to the kid first? He didn't discover it.
Yes,
And so so
absolutely.
so you can't make a kid taste something uh, and then push him to eat healthy food. He's gonna nag for what he wants, and it's very
Yeah, that's
difficult
true.
once you make the kids taste these ultra processed foods.
Mhm.
That also kill their appetite. All these
Okay.
ultra processed foods that the kids get to taste kills their appetite for normal healthy food,
Exactly.
and
This is
this
what
will
we have also
actually.
noticed.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So and the another thing is eating ultra processed food, watching TV, watching screen.
Right.
This is a deadly combination. So it's
Yes.
giving them that additional joy of taste and also fun, entertainment. Now, how
Mhm.
do you break that? With home food, home food is not going to give you taste. So whatever he's viewing is also not enjoyable for him, because what he's
Okay.
eating is not tasty. So you need to break these both together. And it's
That's
up to mothers how they inculcate fun and entertainment while eating food. Maybe my grandmother
interesting.
used to tell me stories to make me feed normal home cooked food. So that's entertainment with food. If our mother's patient enough to narrate a story to a kid to make them feed, they have to
Mhm.
go that extra mile.
Yes.
There's no other way.
But the presence is also a challenge these days because women have to work. And there
Hmm.
are societal challenges because of which women do need to work nowadays. So,
Hmm.
like the absence of mother, I mean, if a maid or a crèche is taking care of the baby, they are not going to share a story with them. That is also a challenge. Like you have
Yeah.
mentioned about
Yeah.
ADHD and autism, like I do get a lot of child nutrition cases with ADHD and autism.
Hmm.
And you have
Hmm.
rightly said that these kids who have come to me in past few months, none of them were actually addicted to processed food except one, I think. One kid was, apart from that, none of
Hmm.
them were. They were actually addicted to
Hmm.
screen viewing. I mean, 6 to 7 hours per day.
Okay.
So this is
Oh,
my
six
observation
to
about
seven hours
ADHD.
is
Yes,
dangerous.
yes. I mean, apart from schools and tuition, the entire time goes into watching screen.
That also disturbs their the circadian rhythm, and
Absolutely.
makes them very they have this brain fog next day in school.
That's the reason why
Added to
ADHD
that.
and autism develop.
Hmm.
Yeah.
True.
Yes, that's
And
very,
you
very
must have heard of
challenging.
this word called selective mutism also.
Yes, that is
Yeah, that's also
I
increasing in urban kids.
yes, because I get kids from Kolkata mostly, and
Hmm.
these kids have ADHD plus selective mutism or epilepsy or seizures or with autism.
Oh,
So like this is actually common, but yes, it's
okay.
I mean these kids out of the few cases which I can remember from last few months, mostly
Hmm.
was screen addicted, not one was junk addicted too, but that was with screen, not alone
Okay.
junk food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And probably they are single kids. Do they have like multiple kids, or
Uh,
there must be mostly single kids?
Two kids had siblings, but they were like newborns.
Okay.
So,
So this is also one reason, if you don't have too many siblings, their connection with the screen is even deeper.
deeper.
You try to snatch away the phone, they'll be very angry.
Very angry. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. This is where I find that today's society culture very good. Like in my society, kids play.
Mhm.
They are when they are
Correct.
coming to the society new, then they already have addiction towards mobile. But once they start living with other kids,
Mhm.
they get to play with other kids. Then they are leaving it. So that's
Exactly.
very
True.
true. Yeah. So that works. Okay. So my next question about the chemicals
Hmm.
again would be, or maybe
Hmm.
processed food, I would say. Like we see specifically for infant nutrition, we see a lot of
Hmm.
advertisements that if the child is not eating properly, or if the
Hmm.
child is not getting proper nutrition from the food, then
Hmm.
take this powder and this is going to provide all the nutrition.
Okay.
So, what are the odds of that? I mean, can actually a powder, a man-made thing, be with nature? Can be compared with nature?
Uh, Actually, what the kid is lacking is in micronutrients.
Mm-hmm.
Indian kids, especially, and because we have a considerable vegetarian uh, population,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and Indian home style cooking, and it's a combination of the foods that come from the market itself lack in the micronutrients, right?
Okay.
Because of hybrid varieties, they look big in size, and they're very attractive. They look very healthy, but the
Mhm.
fields that they're grown in are deficient in these micronutrients. So naturally, when they come to the plate,
Mhm.
and our cooking habits also, we cook for a long time, right? We fry it, and especially if you take milk, why do we have to drink milk if not for the micronutrients? We adults don't need lactose, the kids don't need lactose,
Mhm.
right? The protein as such is denatured when you boil it,
Mhm.
and the fat is usually skimmed by the milkman or the company that is giving you the milk. So what is left in milk? It's nothing but the nutrition is not sufficient enough. So what these companies try to market it as, this will complement the daily RDA requirements of micronutrients for the kids. But for that, do they have to take so much of carbohydrate again, protein again, and fat again? It all depends on the individual kid and the mother's judgment. If the mother feels the kid is not putting on weight, if the mother feels the kid is lacking something, then she'll go for it. But are how many mothers can do that, take that judgment for themselves? Because every
That's
mother
true.
feels the kid is not healthy enough, right?
Yeah,
Even
that
a
is
obese
true.
kid, yeah, that is
Mhm.
what is putting kids into obesity. Overfeeding,
Mhm.
not heeding
True.
to the kids calls. The kid will tell you, I'm okay, I'm done, but the mother say, okay, last two scoops,
Yes.
last little is
True.
remaining, just. So this, what happens is, the kid will lose his sense of judgment too. He thinks,
Mhm.
okay, I don't know how much is good enough for me. My mother decides what is enough for me. So over a
Exactly.
period of time, the kid will lose control of how much to eat. He can't read his signals
True.
properly, and this is what is putting them, what is driving them towards obesity.
That is absolutely true.
Coupled with processed foods, and so much
Yeah.
of sugar, so much of refined cereals in our
Mhm.
sweets occasions. Every day is
Of course.
a some of the other occasion in India. So
Every day.
this is also a reason.
Absolutely. As you rightly said, like I have also, I mean, I do give supplements to patients who really require them.
Mhm.
But they have to be weaned off after a period of time when they feel okay and they have to come back to a normal diet. But like you rightly
Mhm.
said, that most of the mothers are not even judging it properly, that does the child actually require external source, or it is
True.
just that the lifestyle and the way of feeding and these things need to change more. And of course, the junk food
One,
is easy.
yeah, one probably what I feel is, if the child is, she's okay with the child being obese, because then she'll not be judged by relatives or friends that you're not feeding him enough or properly. So a healthy
That's
child for a
true.
mother is a obese child. That's become the standard now.
That is so true. I mean, I go to several schools. I mean, but
Mhm.
like, I was just watching, I was standing there and I was watching the kids go towards the hall, and
Mhm.
I could notice 60% of the kids were obese and stunted growth.
Oh.
That is what I noticed. And when I talked to them, there was this kid, after several sessions, he told me, ma'am, yeah, last month I minimized my junk food
Mhm.
consumption, and I could save 4,000 rupees for my parents' anniversary
Oh.
present. So
Oh
can you
my God.
imagine how much
Okay.
junk food these kids are eating in a city like Kolkata? Like
Oh,
Kolkata, I'm sure it's same
that's
with Bangalore and Mumbai and other places also.
it's the same anywhere in urban kids. That's the same story with any urban setting. Parents compensate money with time. They can't spend time with kids, so they give the kids money. And what will like a child do? If he's a small child, he'll buy candies and junk food. If he's a
Chocolates.
growing up child, he's gonna buy something prohibited stuff. So and
Mhm.
ultimately, that's what is putting kids in trouble. Parental surveillance coming down, compensating money with time, and overfeeding. All these things.
That is so true. Overfeeding is definitely a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all the insights and giving us a clearer picture about the food industry. So, what I would I would say after this session is that occasional is fine for anything,
Yeah.
but ultimately it has to be actually occasional. Like
True.
if I give an example, in our childhood, occasional used to be Holi, Diwali, and Rakhi 3 times in a year,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Not more than
True.
that. And
Yeah.
now occasional is like every Saturday, Sunday.
I
So that
understand.
is the challenge nowadays. And kids spending like 4,000 bucks on a month's junk food is too
True.
much.
True. What parents stock in the fridge is also very important.
Very
Because if the
important.
kid is happy, he's going to open the fridge. If he's unhappy, he's going to open the fridge. So what you keep in the
Right.
fridge is very important.
That's true. So we have to stock better. And
Yeah.
if even if we want to give junk food as a reward, maybe for a once in an year or something, first of all, it should not be a reward, but it should be
Mm-hmm.
bought and given and finished in a small amount at the moment, right? So no, never to stock in the fridge.
True. And kids are very intelligent, although they're big people in small bodies. We need to remember that
Yeah.
kids are not kids. Kids are big people in small bodies. If you give them responsibility, if the parents can share their responsibility with the kids in
Hmm.
terms of running the house,
Right.
what do we need to how do we stock the refrigerator? This dialogue,
Mhm.
parents, if they can have their children, how do we stock the refrigerator, what do we buy in the grocery, you'll be surprised what the kids can come up with. So if we
Mhm.
encourage them to share that responsibility, they're going to live up to our expectations. Most kids underestimate most parents underestimate their kids. They think the
That
kids,
is true.
they make better choice, they can make better choice for the kids. But what they don't know is the kids have been exposed too much to the society. They're exposed to the TV, they're exposed to neighbors, they're exposed to other kids. They make
Mhm.
up things. They connect dots very fast, and they're very creative with their ideas too.
That's true. And even nowadays, schools are trying their best to educate them on nutrition. I think in fourth and third
Hmm.
standard also they have chapters on nutrition and how to eat healthy and stuff.
Hmm.
So even in kindergarten they're learning, so they can join those dots as well.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay,
they are
thanks.
operating smartphones too. So
They are.
there's no end of possibilities what they can come up. We need to actually give them. They're like Chat GPT in a way. I feel if you give the right prompts,
Mhm.
so our instructions to them have to be right for them to work on it. So
Right.
it all depends on that. What instructions you give the kids are those what they're going to be working on.
That is so true. So, starting from the topic of chemicals and coming down to things that we can actually do is a very
Hmm.
interesting conversation that we have had today. Thank you so much, Mr. Chetan, for joining. And we would like to have
Okay.
more sessions in future so that whatever questions keep coming up from schools, from
Mhm.
teachers, and from parents, we can always discuss those, right? Thank you so much. And I would like you to conclude the session with whatever you feel you must share at the end of the session.
Okay. Thank you, Anuradha, for having me here. Although I'm not an expert, but I've been in the industry for more than 15 years, so I picked up a lot of things. I
Right.
would just like to end this good session with a simple note that when it comes to food ingredients or when it comes to food in general, moderation is key. It's not which is good, which is bad. It's always moderation is key.
Right.
That,
That is really valuable. Thank you so much. So now
thank
I'll
you.
close the session and thank you for coming.
Thank you. My pleasure too. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.